What's up, y'all? I don't really know how to make an intro for this video, so please sit back, relax, get a meal, grab some snacks, because this is an episode of Jax. Lately, I've had this feeling in my tummy. That's probably gonna be the title of the video, but I've had this feeling deep in my gut about you know a lot of stuff, my personal life, um, this YouTube stuff, and not really social stuff, more like myself and YouTube. And this is not me like getting discouraged or I'm not like sad or anything, and I'm not like depressed, but I feel like it's good to, it's healthy even to, just put thoughts into words and just say them, and it's not like I haven't been talking to people, because I've been talking to my therapist. Shout out to my therapist. And I've been talking to my parents and my family members, you know about this, a little bit. And what I've been talking with them about has a little bit to do with this feeling I'm feeling. And I don't know, I really don't know what to call it, you know but I feel like I just wanted to talk about it. So yeah, when I started this channel, right? I remember I I don't I before it was like last around last year, around or when I got back from Christmas break, and I thought about it. I was like, because I had told my brother, I was like, maybe I'm into doing YouTube, and I wasn't serious about it. I wasn't as serious about it until around probably like January to February, end of January, early February, when I prayed about it. I had just gone to my, I feel like I just had an encounter with Christ, and I reconnected with him, and I prayed about it. And I was as I was praying, I felt this deep gut fire in my feeling. I got sweat. I got sweaty. I got hot, and I was like, this is what I feel like. This is a calling, and I do feel that all the time when I'm making videos, when I'm talking about videos, when I'm talking about doing YouTube as a general. I get this feeling, and I called my mom about it, and she was so supportive, extremely supportive. And that's all you can ever want, a supportive person a supportive family member, a supportive mother who wants to see you succeed. And although that's not really what I wanted to talk about, I just wanted to get the lay down the groundwork of like why I feel like I started YouTube. I know I have another video on saying why I do this, but I feel like that's changed in the 10 months I've been doing YouTube, which isn't a lot. And I don't have a lot of videos compared to everyone else on the platform currently. And I feel like a feeling that's been eaten away, or I don't want to say like it's been eaten away, but I've been thinking like, is it wrong to, to want to grow, you know? And I feel like I had to still, not only that, but I had to sit with myself and be like, is this seriously what you want to do? And I do, and I want to be a YouTuber. I want to to be a YouTuber. And I feel like I was embarrassed to say that, you know, because and this is not from any outside force. This is not from anybody. This is my own thoughts. This is just Jackson's thoughts. All right. And I and I was embarrassed because I grew up I grew up with doctors as parents. And this is not like me, this is no like blame game thing, but I grew up around successful people. You know, my friends' parents, my uncles, my aunties, they're they're what I consider successful people, and they do amazing things. You know, they're um heart surgeons and and surgeons and business owners and stuff like that. And I don't know. And then all these I don't want to say these negative notions about being a YouTuber started flooding in. You know, like, oh, you just sit at your desk all day and you record and you play video games for a living, and you know that's what you want to do for the rest of your life. And yes and no. And I had to. I feel like I feel like I say I had to because I don't feel like that anymore. I don't. And I feel like this is all because of this video right now. I just sat I just sat thinking about it, and I just turned the camera on, and because I feel like I needed to get these feelings out. I just needed to talk about it, and I want this YouTube and the recording. I want it helps me not only be honest with myself, but I can be honest with y'all. You know, and I want I'm not embarrassed to be. I'm not embarrassed to want to be what I who I want to be. You know, and I feel like I kind of was at the beginning. You know, I or at least like I want to say 6 to 7 months in, and yeah, I know this might seem crazy because I haven't been doing that long. How could I be getting all these feelings? I don't know. I'm an overthinker. That's probably just in my blood. But you know, another thing I want to talk about is that I want to grow. You know, I want to grow as a channel, and along with that, I want to grow as a person. You know, strive to live like Christ as close as possible. You know, I'm a very religious person, if you couldn't tell. But and I was thinking, I was like, am I being ungrateful for like what I have now? I have 55 subscribers, and I'm grateful for those. I'm grateful for every single one of those people because they chose to subscribe to me. Someone who I don't think I make. I try to make the best content I can make, but I know I can. There's better out there, and they chose me, and I'm grateful for that. And I think I'm like, how can I? Is it me being selfish and greedy for wanting more, for wanting to grow the channel and to reach like a million crazy things, crazy numbers like a million subscribers or 10 million subscribers when like in the far future or in the future, and I can't I don't know. I don't know if that's greedy or not. I don't know if that's selfish or not. That's just a goal I have. That's something I want to strive towards. And I feel like I really needed to say that along with the other stuff, you know? There's things I want to do with this channel that seem kind of, to me at least, I'm just remember putting thoughts into words. It seems kind of stupid. I don't want to say stupid. They seem kind of crazy. You know, I want I want to inspire people with this channel. To I want to try to make a positive impact with this channel that can help someone live a decent life, and even better if see see my relationship with Christ and how I'm striving to be like Christ and try to do the same, you know? And all I and I feel like what at least to me what seems silly is that like all I'm doing is playing video games and talking. I feel like that's what seems silly to me, but I know that's what I want. That's what I'm striving towards. That's a goal I have, a dream even. And I feel like a little part of me is worried. I pray about worry. I give my worry, my doubts to God, but I'm worried that I'll spend 10 years of my life, 10 to 8, 10 years, a decade of my life, and not be where I want to be with this, And I I surrender to God's plan, and whatever He wants from me, I I will do it. I just pray, I pray it's this, or or if it's not this, this leads me into that, which it probably will, But God, I feel like He didn't put this fire in me for no reason, He didn't put this feeling in me for no reason, you know. For when I was a kid, when I was younger, I think, oh no, up to like high school, around high school time, I wanted to be an astronaut for the longest time. I still love space, you know. Mars is my favorite planet. I wanted to be an astronaut for the longest time, and it started when I went to space camp. My dad took me to space camp in Alabama. Um, it was such a fun experience, and I wanted to be an astronaut after that. And I had dreams, I was like, I was gonna work at NASA. I was gonna be an engineer. I did this high school engineering program. Shout out to the Thai people watching, if you're watching this. Um, I did all that because I wanted to be an astronaut. Although Thai was kind of woodworking, but I'm getting on a tangent. And then, but I feel like I didn't. I wanted to be an astronaut, but I didn't at the same time. Like I wasn't trying my hardest. I did. I wasn't. It was just a goal, but I wasn't studying like I needed to. I wasn't putting in effort like I needed to. I wasn't doing internships. I wasn't applying to college. I wasn't doing what I was supposed or what I think I was supposed to do to try to do that or try to what's it called? Achieve that goal. And I could say all I want, but words are just words when there's no action. And and then I thought I was like, do I really want to be a astronaut or do I want to go to space or something like that? And I was like, I don't. I feel like space is kind of lonely. I want to have a family, and my goals change, and that's okay. And I still love space still. And this YouTube sub, I have never wanted anything more. I've never wanted to work for anything more. I've never wanted to achieve anything more than this. This is except the number one thing is a relationship with Christ, and to strive to be like, and to strive to have a relationship with God, and hopefully get into heaven. That's literally the first thing. This is the YouTube thing is second to none, and I wanted, and I don't want to say I wanted, but I'm happy with that. I am, because I feel like I haven't had a goal. I haven't had a dream for a while. You know, and this isn't me trying to like be sad or nothing. Like I said, I'm just putting my thoughts into words, and I feel like I needed to talk about it. You know, this is not to say I'm not getting any support. From from my friends, my family. The support is immeasurable. You know, I just got a DM from my friend, Seti. He, or I'm not gonna say his full name because but he does YouTube as well, and he said I make an impact. And I kind of chuckled because I was like, what impact am I making at 55 subscribers and stuff like that? I haven't been doing it for 10 months, but it's beyond that. And I hate when I mention subscriber count because if I don't want it to come off like that's all I care about. When it's a bit of when I care about it, but I don't care about it where I'm not seeking like clout. I don't want this virality that just comes and goes. I want to build something lasting. I want to build something, build a community that that positively impacts people. That inspires, that does good, and that makes God proud. And this is me sobering myself, I guess, but I know things things that take a long time are usually worthwhile. Things that don't take a long time aren't usually worthwhile. And that's with everything I believe in life. That's with a job, that's with a person, a companion, of sorts. Uh yeah, anything. That's with your body, with your educate, with like education and everything is gonna take time for it to cultivate and for it to grow. And I know I'm early, but I'm just having these feelings, or I'm just having these feelings where I just wanted to talk about them instead of just letting them fester and then grow into something and distort my motivations for even doing this in the first place. And that's not what I want. You know, I don't want this to become. I don't want this to become something that is not. It wasn't meant to be. I don't want this to become a road to evil that is paved with good intentions. I want it to become a road to good intentions paved with good intentions. Yeah, and I know I've been yapping, and I know for at least some people, the dopamine rush doesn't hit with this video, and that's okay. And I hope you guys, for the people who are watching this video, I if you sat down and watched my face for these, well, how long have I been recording? For these 18 minutes, hey, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I usually expect people to like watch my videos in the background or like not even watch, especially like my longer ones, like put it on the background or something like that. But if you sit down, watch them, get a meal, you know, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. And it feels good to talk about your feelings. And I'm not usually one to talk about my feelings. I usually get embarrassed talking about my feelings because I feel like not that my feelings are invalid, but I feel like I want to solve everything myself, and I feel like I'm stronger if I solve everything myself, which isn't true. I've come to learn that, and that comes with growth and time and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's a wonder what talking can do. That feeling in my tummy, it's it's been replaced. I feel like now I feel even more motivated, and I'm feeling more motivated to do this now. I'm willing to put in more work and more time and more effort, and if I don't get where I want to be, if I end up in 10 years with the same amount of subscribers, you know I can't say that I didn't try, and that this just didn't work out, but I will try my hardest. I will work my hardest. I will put in so much time for that not to be the case. But if it is, I can't. There's no one I can't. I can't blame anybody, not even myself, because then it just that because that's just how it works. But until that happens, 120%, 120%, and I thank y'all for for listening to me. For sitting down and for letting me express my feelings to you guys. Um, I know I hopefully I don't know if this was motivational for some people or not, but I really needed to turn the camera on and just talk to y'all. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I love you. I'm not gonna ask you guys to jab the like button or subscribe on this video. You don't have to for this one because I feel like this is a serious heart to heart. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and please just be yourself, just be kind, and go with God. I love y'all. Deuces.